What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Sega Genesis Day. And basically, we are 20 years and 10 days since the last official US console launch of a Sega console, or system, if you will. Today marked Sega's venture with their joining them directly, not some third party or other company putting out their products, but them directly putting out the Sega Genesis Mini. 40 classic games, 2 bonus titles never before released in the States. So this is pretty exciting. It is the 30th anniversary as well of Sega Genesis. Many fond memories myself with this console. And today, basically, we're going to do an unboxing of this and playing through those 42 games. So let's get this started with the actual unboxing. Inside the box, you are going to get, unlike the PlayStation Classic, you're going to get a power supply. So your standard USB to AC adapter, which is nice. Again, you did not get that with the PlayStation Classic. The only one of them that didn't come with a power supply, so you had to have your own little butt, if you will. You will get 2 controllers, which is nice for multiplayer games. The only downside to these controllers, from what I've read and seen, is they are the 3 button. They are not the 6 button. There are a few games, including Street Fighter on here, that utilizes the 6 button. An alternative to that is holding down the start and then hitting the buttons, which is kind of an annoyance if you were a tournament fighter and really into the Street Fighter games. If not, you'll just have to punch everyone to death, is what it is. So again, 2 controllers included here with the system. You get a instruction manual, something that is not included with a lot of things now, so that is nice to see. In addition to that, you are getting the rest of it, and the cable is a mini USB on one side, or micro, same as a Samsung or your Android devices, anything like that that has the port, as well as the USB in to go to the AC adapter portion. Also included, this is a plug-and-play mini console like the Nintendo Classic, the NES Classic, if you will, and the SNES, or the SNES, or the Super Nintendo Classic, as well as the PlayStation Classic. It's a plug-and-play, meaning it's HDMI, and that's all you need. No RF modulator, no coaxial, nothing like that. No S-Video, which is what I utilized when I had my actual Genesis back in the day. And then, of course, the main thing itself. Before we get into that, again, this is the box, retro styling with the grid, and then all the included games on the back here. So very exciting, very, very exciting. And then let's pop this bad boy open. This is a really cool moment. I remember getting my console 30 years ago and getting Sonic the Hedgehog on it, and that was the only game I got at launch. It was around 1992 or 91, and I couldn't get any other games because first off the system was like $200 until I beat Sonic the Hedgehog. But I'd wanted it so bad, and I'd learned the cheat codes to get to level select in Sonic the Hedgehog, and I actually ended up beating the game within moments and showing my mother and stepfather at that time, say, "Hey, I beat Sonic. I need another game." As time went on, we ventured to pawn shops and other game stores available at the time, as well as Friday nights were the best night, because that meant we had McDonald's as well as Video Time, which ended up turning into a Blockbuster Video, and meaning I got to take home a game for the weekend. And that was the majority of my collecting, was through playing rented games and then eventually purchasing them if I liked them. So this is it. This is the Mini. Much smaller size. As you can see, it fits in my hand, just one hand. Volume control works. I don't know if it actually works. There's no actual port for a 3.5 millimeter jack here. On-off switch and a reset button. You can also mount this to the Sega CD. They have a plastic version. It's just a plastic mount for the Sega CD. And then 32X and a game cartridge. Some reviewers got that. Unfortunately, I did not. But if you want to send me one, Sega, that'd be amazing. They don't actually do anything. It's purely cosmetic. But some people can get their hands on them. And then obviously your DC in and your HDMI on the back. That essentially is the Sega Genesis. They also have, it looks like to be, doesn't actually open, but they did a good job in detail for the pop-out side here. It doesn't look like it opens though. But what you're all here for is to fire this thing up and see what games they're all about. We're going to power through 42 games here, so stick with us, and hopefully you enjoy this nostalgia trip as much as I do. So again, thank you for joining us. Stick with us. Let's kick it over to gameplay. What's up, everyone? Thanks for sticking with us. That was the intro video. What's up, Smalls? What's up, Trevor? Glad to have you. And Igor mentioned Dead by Daylight. Hopefully we can play that in a stream soon here tonight. If not tonight, soon. We have NEW action tonight. But that's not what you're here for. You are here for the Sega Genesis Classic. Another look at the controller here. It is hardwired in. The other end is USB, meaning that we could potentially attempt to use other USB controllers. I don't know if they'll work or not, but something to try over time of having this. So obviously we're going to set this thing up in English. It is the only language I know. A fun fact though, if you switch it to Japanese or other region languages, you actually get the different box arts and variants of those games. So, meaning you're getting actually more than 42 games, you're getting different region variants of those games. While we might not try that out during this stream, we may try that out in the future to show you a comparison between two. It could be part of a video series we do here on DNA. But first and foremost, thanks for sticking with us. This is Dose of Nerd Acumen. This is our review, and you've seen our unboxing. We're going to power through 30 or 42 games here on hopefully a brief time period, enough to give you a taste of what this $79.99 piece of plastic and board offers you. Immediately greeted with some really cool music here. I like it. Very cool, very cool. So we can sort by release date, A to Z, genre, number of players. What we're going to end up doing is just power through release date. We're going to take a nostalgia trip from the early days of the Sega Genesis, being its 30th anniversary, and power through to the latest releases. I'll touch on some of the games and maybe experiences that I had with them, and I might even be playing some games for the first time here. We're only going to be dabbling in each game. We're not going to be playing a lot of them. Only just kind of show you how the emulation runs. Because again, this is an emulator, it does not take cartridges. They get it wrong. It's supposed to be Alex the Kid, your former and best NEW champion. It's true. That's where we came up with a name for him. So let's go to our settings, see what they have. Please read this before playing. Health warning. Yes. Screen settings. You have your two options here, whether it be standard or widescreen. I'm not going to do widescreen because it distorts. CRT filter. I'm not going to do that either. That's more for basic stuff. Wallpaper settings. We can add wallpapers on the side. That's kind of cool. Let's do that one. Staff credits, and we can reset the thing to factory. There is save files too, much like the other consoles, so we can save our progress through these. But let's kick things off with some Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle, released in 1989. Some of these games I haven't played in over 20 years, so I might be terrible, I might have to learn how they work, but this will be an experience. But it just feels right, this feels good. It's just like when I was a kid, this controller here. So we're going to do default settings, we're not going to mess with anything. So, Crash, what's going on? Yeah, oh shit indeed, here we are. Oh. So I don't know if it's emulation, but there is slight, and this might be through the Elgato, I doubt it, but there is slight input lag. And it might be because I'm capturing through Elgato. I haven't tried this outside of the Elgato yet. This is my first sit down with it. I mean, literally getting it moments ago. And this could be very well the game too. I didn't play a lot of this game as a kid, so I couldn't tell you if it's the emulation, the system, or what. There's slight lag. I saw this, but I can't justify getting one. So many Sega collections released on every system. Yeah, I'm a fan of these minis. I absolutely love the minis. So I just love being able to travel and have the controller Plus, I want to support Sega. I grew up on Sega, and very floaty jumping here, I must say. Watching, you're probably like, wow, you're terrible. But Crash Fish, I see the appeal. Yeah, they definitely appeal. What's up, Cody? So it's just something about these retro minis. I fortunately have the 4 main release so far, being the NES, the SNES, the PlayStation, and now the Genesis. I also have a Retro Pi, which has most of these games, if not all of them, but the experience seems more authentic-ish on this. They're also releasing early next year the TurboGrafx Mini. I don't have as many memories with that, so I can't say for certain if that's one that I'd pick up, because I think they want $99 for that. It seems a little excessive in price. Did you miss anything last night? I don't know when we lost you. I know you joined for a little bit. You missed a spider attack, Lana. Never played most of these games. I had Nintendo. Okay. I was able to get one of the SNES controllers for the Switch, so I totally understand wanting to have the real controller. That's awesome. I was looking at the SNES controllers. Money's a bit tight right now. I mean, they're only like $40, but still. I have like 6 Joy-Cons. I don't, and a Pro controller. I didn't want to continue adding. So how do we get out? Do we just hit reset? Yes. Okay. So return to the main menu. You saw the spider tag. Okay. So yeah, you didn't miss much. All right. So that was Alex the Kid. Moving on. This is a game I did have. Altered Beast. I don't remember the moment I got it, but I remember playing this a lot. I know there's a lot of critique about this game, whether it be good, bad. A lot of people liked the arcade version better, and this is kind of what Genesis perfected. They perfected the arcade at home, right? And it's a good port from the arcade. It's not great, but again, for what you had as far as options. So if you've never played this game, the objective is quite simple. You defeat those little ox things, the 2-headed oxes. Graphics were, again, better in the arcade. Eventually you'll power up, as mentioned in the audio. Let's see if we can get it first try. See, Crash gets it power up. See, I'm getting buff. Eventually I'm going to turn into an actual, well, if I don't die, an altered beast. Huh? Clever, huh? So this one has a little bit better responsiveness. So there we go. The first beast. So now I can fight the stage boss. It's a fairly short game. You can probably beat this in about 20 minutes if you're decent at it. It's not an easy game though. I said you could. This is really fun with 2 players. Again, I'm not great at it. It's been a while. I actually have a t-shirt of Altered Beast, the Japanese artwork. I'm not so great. Again, mixed reviews on this one for people. The emulation is a little bit more responsive, so it seems like Alex the Kid was just kind of just the game, right? It was an early launch title. Yeah, the last level. Yeah. This game in general is just difficult, right? So that's the first level. Again, this is Altered Beast. A lot of mixed things. And Crash mentioned, too, in chat, there are a lot of collections out there that you can get on your PlayStation, Xbox, the Switch, that feature a good chunk of these games. Pretty good emulation on most of those. The mini console so far, this has been reviewed as the best one so far, and I'm not talking about the best Sega Genesis Mini. This is the first one, again, by Sega. But this is the best reviewed mini console out there, which is surprising because the SNES was amazing. So let's move on here to our next one. Again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on a lot of these games. A lot of these games are old since we're so hard. Yeah, kids don't know what it's like these days. They have checkpoints, they have save states, autosave. Autosave. Shout out to Crash. But a lot of those features, you know, didn't exist. So you had to be good. And if you weren't, eh. So here's our next game here. Space Harrier 2. Not very familiar with this, I'll be honest with you. So this will be interesting. Alert! Fantasyland falls into crisis now. Looks like we can pick levels. Stunna area. Okay, let's do this. This is one that was pretty big in arcades, so I'm vaguely familiar with that aspect. Emulation is fine. Responsiveness. Classic Sega, you know, music. How are the audio levels? You guys getting to enjoy these tunes here? Hopefully you are. So I'm shooting trees and spaceships. And I died.
Get ready.
Oh, get ready. I'm back up. Okay. Very arcade. That's where you didn't put in another quarter or something. That's something too, if you're not around our age, you didn't get a chance to play probably in a lot of arcades.
Get ready.
And like I said, I'm not very familiar with this game, so I don't know what to expect. I don't know really all the controls. Looks like A, B, and C all do the same thing here too. So
get ready.
Get ready. I keep getting ready. Fighting some weird dragon thing now. Alright. Sounds fitting. Looks like a boss battle coming up. Yep, sure enough. Wow.
Get ready.
Alright. So I'm fighting some weird turtle things, like a kaiju almost. Well, we are just awful. That is Space Harrier 2. I'm going to be spending more time with each of these games, hopefully getting better and perfecting them, and maybe do individual streams, playthroughs of each game over the course of the next year. 42 titles, as mentioned. There's a lot here to play and unpack. I remember spending probably $100+ on Gauntlet in the arcade when I was on vacation with my cousin. My aunt kept giving us money. Yeah, Gauntlet's another game that sucks quarters. Great game, but damn, it's difficult. Ghouls and Ghosts, 89. 30 years ago. You gotta install AdBlock on your phone. Don't do that. Here, now let's try this. I'm gonna make this full screen on my screen here. That might help me. Ghouls and Ghosts. Talk about a hard game right here. We've played this actually on stream as part of a weekly dosage episode. Was it the Sega port? I think it was the Sega port of the game. Alright, so let's try this. This is different than the Super Nintendo one. And this was, I think, recently released on Nintendo Switch Online with the Super Nintendo in there. Why not? We can't get revenue for the ads. I can't earn bids. Oh yeah, good point. Ah. This game goes beyond hard. Yeah, this game is not easy. Hey, more power. This is where you had the Game Genie to hack things. Does anyone remember that? Oh, that's right. I could shoot upwards. I forgot. You son of a... Ah! See? See? This is what we're talking about. How it's super difficult. Woo! Yeah, see, that's not what I want to do. Clutch accidental dodge there. Yeah. So, the fun thing about this game, you have to beat it twice to actually beat it. So, like, beating the game, yeah, I did. So I'll mention a million times during this stream, I am not good at, I don't think, really many of these games in this collection. I'm not really good at a lot of games in general. I'm just an enthusiast of gaming in general. So you'll never see me being like, yeah, I'll whoop you, because that just won't happen. Your phone is a little behind, no worries. What games you missed so far? I'll go back to the menu and show you. We're just going through release dates as far as how we're playing these. I shot him, but that's okay. So that's Ghouls and Ghosts. Part of a great franchise there. Return to menu. So yeah, so far we've played Alex Kidd, Altered Beast, Space Harrier 2, Ghouls and Ghosts, and now we're moving on to Golden Axe. Released in the year 1990. So as of recording this, it is September 19th, 2019. We are 20 years and 10 days since the release date of the last Sega console, being the Dreamcast, rest in peace, and 30-year anniversary of the U.S. Full-on launch of the Genesis, known as the Mega Drive. Next two games are your jam. So I'll be this dude. Golden Axe and Columns. Yeah, Columns. The reason I got familiar with Columns was because I had a Game Gear, and my mom would always take my Game Gear to play Columns. She ended up getting her own Game Gear eventually. I didn't want to do that, learning controls, but hey, just wasted a power up. Alright. So this is a classic beat 'em up, right? This is like Battletoads, games like that, that would eventually become incredibly prominent on the Genesis console. Probably 1/3, I would say, of the Genesis released games were beat 'em ups like this. Were they all good? Probably not. I played a good majority of them, and there's definitely a handful that I enjoyed. Oh, you little bugger. And thank you for that. Another third of the console games released were definitely sports styles. So Sega really put sports games, especially EA, on the market, on what to expect. Some of the highlights were like NHL 94, the Madden games. Those are pretty prominent. Ride it! I'm riding it. And that's what she said. So this is Lizard Chicken mount for the win. Oh, that dude just super kicked me. Oh, and he stole my mount. Get off it. What a jerk. Some of these games you can actually get even on your mobile devices. They have the Sega Ages series that they're doing, which consists of a lot of their classic Genesis games, including this one. This reminds me of some of the kind of looking guys from Double Dragon. If you've ever played any of those games or seen those. Made quick work of that. Pretty cool. So this is a little like mini thing between. He steals my stuff. I didn't play a whole lot of this. I played enough of this game to enjoy it. Does the mount have a secondary attack? I believe so. Keep in mind though, if you didn't catch the beginning, this is a 3-button controller. I believe only Europe and Japan, or maybe even only Japan, got the 6-button by default. I can order one, but the US release comes stock with only a 3-button controller, which is a problem for some of the games. Only a few, I think, on here. You could still play them, but you just have to hold down the start button as an alternative. Yeah, boo indeed. That's the biggest critique. But you can order one. They're USB plug and play, so they're probably pretty affordable controllers, but something extra to buy. So moving on to our next game here. And there are save states too. If I wanted to save anything, I have 4 save states per game. Columns. Puzzler. If you like puzzle games, Locke, this is obviously, if you know anything about Locke, he loves puzzle games. So it makes sense that it's... I wonder if the ones I have would work. Yeah, they are USB. They could work. It's something to try in the near future for us, Locke. Okay. So, Columns... Simple game, right? Shuffle your pieces around. I don't remember if I can rotate it or not. Or is it just... Oh, columns. Make a column. So, we line them up. Similar to Tetris. That's fancy. Remind me when I come to record. Yeah. definitely. So, this one isn't all that exciting to show off unless you truly like puzzle games. And I'm not really attempting to do anything of feat here in this. I'm just kind of showing you the concept, if you will. So you string together some things, and it's a good relaxing puzzle game if you enjoy puzzles. So that's Columns. Super simple, nothing really to dive too deep into. Again, a great puzzle game to relax and enjoy. Good variety so far as we've seen as far as game types. We haven't come across a sports game yet though, so we'll see if there are any on here. So we'll move into our next one here. And again, save states, you can save and load. And return to the game menu. Did I just not reset that properly? Return to main menu. There we go. Let's hit the right buttons here, shall we? Columns just a time sink, not much to show off. Yeah, indeed, not a lot there. So Thunder Force 3 is our next game here. Released in 1990. It says it's a side-scrolling shooter. So it's a shoot 'em up. These were also pretty popular and prominent on the... oh shit, this whole row. These were pretty... Thanks for the host, Kyra. These were pretty prominent on the Genesis as well. So anything to describe the Genesis, beat 'em up, shoot 'em up, sports games. So, a shmup, if you will. I do like cute 'em ups too. Those are cool. So yeah, shmups. Okay, mission level normal. How do we do this? Not all too familiar with this. So, okay, we can just hold down B. These are great. You get powers and stuff. So, like, this is cool. Emulation, again, very little latency or input lag with this, and I'm running it through an Elgato, which does cause a slight input lag. Not much on the newest model, but it is very slight, which means that there's even less when you plug in your console itself, which is fantastic news. This is one that I could probably sink a bunch of hours into, to be honest with you. I do love these type of games. And Trevor, yeah, stick with us. Have fun running the store. We got a lot to get through here. I don't want to make this like a 5-hour stream, but I do want to power through as many games as I can in the short amount of time that I have. So this is cool. Like I enjoy this. Emulation runs fantastic. Music is fine. Strike Gunner SCG is one we should do on the SNES. Yeah, like I'm down, man. I love retro stuff. I want to dive deep into the retro even more. As you know, it was a series that I did in the early days of DNA. It was the Classics Lounge. I really enjoy retro games. I'm not showcasing talents here, but just empowering through things. I'm being careless, if you will, as I'm playing. Do I want to continue? No. So let's head back to the menu, powering through our games list here. So we are on Castle of Illusion, a licensed game. This is pretty big deal. First party games are generally would have been on these classic consoles. This is a licensed game. This is exciting that Disney has this on here. Or allowed it to be. Not to mention it's a good game. So we're talking kid-friendly console too. Great holiday gift. A Genesis Mini. Great gift. So difficulty normal. We're just doing default settings for everything. Again, we're not playing a playthrough or a completion or anything like that. What's up, 181? We're just skipping through dialogue. $79.99 is the retail price right now, Crash, for one of these. Equal to what the SNES is. You can get a PlayStation Classic between $20 and $30 now. In my opinion, it's worth that price point. And the NES Classic was $60 when that came out. So, okay. Slight. Okay, I can't jump on him. Note to self. Let's see. Slight lag here, so as you can see. Slight. But again, I don't know if that's because of the Elgato. Alex Kidd was definitely laggy. As far as input lag, or latency, whatever you want to describe it as. So I get the items, I can... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Bro, why are you jumping? So I can throw those as I collect them. I only have 4 left, so... Greedfall. I've never heard of that one. I'll have to look that up. Oh, okay. So we're getting hurt. We have power. We can get 5 hits, it looks like, before we... if he dies. There we go. That's better. So cool looking game visually. You got the parallax scrolling in the background. It's the game where the reveal teaser was a dude chasing an elf out of the woods. Yeah, okay. I'm familiar then. Oh, I don't have any more items. I'll just skip you then. So I throw apples at people. That's fun. Then get attacked by a giant tree monster. What's that on? There we go. Some gaps. High jump. He jumps really high. It's kind of floaty. Alright, we got this. We got this. What's up, Wicked? Oh. There we go. Dragon Age Witcher 3. Ooh. Okay. PC exclusive. Alright. When you're playing Disney, going to Disney World. Hey! Perfect timing. Crap. I'm not a big PC gaming guy. Not that I have anything against it. Before I get comments below or in chat here, it's just one of those things that I just don't play a lot of PC, PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Good to know. So I haven't played PC games since Command & Conquer and Sims. That's pretty much primarily it. Lost connection. That's okay. Glad to have you back. Hardcore PS4 Switch. Yeah, Nintendo is my number one. And then, depending on the game, Xbox, PS4, and then very low on the list is PC. So, Strider, this is a fantastic game. 8 mega power, as GameSack would put it. Have fun, friends. Wolfpack for life. So we got Strider here. Lock heading back to work. Have fun. I'm dressed up because I had some interviews today, so cross your fingers. So here we go, Strider. Big sprite. Like this right here showcased the power of the 16-bit era. Giant sprites. This was unusual for the 8-bit era, obviously. They were limited to capacity and what they could do. The one thing I always found annoying about this game was the sound effect for the actual weapon, which is different depending on the region. So if it's PAL, it's different sound effect, meaning that Europe got different sounds. So, pretty cool game. Very reminiscent of like a Mega Man, if you will. Not really a beat 'em up, more like an action fighter, action platformer, I guess. Pretty cool game. Again, the impressive thing here is the size of the sprites. And you gotta mention, CRTs back in the day, too, we didn't have these giant 70-inch TVs. At least most people didn't. You were probably working with anywhere between a 16 and 32-inch CRT if you were, you know, fancy. So to have a giant sprite, to have a big picture like that, it made the thing look even more brilliant. So that's Strider. Nothing, again, uberly spectacular, but we'll keep plugging away. We have a lot to get through. So our next thing here is, of course, the first game that I ever played. Did I murder Hulk Hogan? Yeah, it looked like that. the very first game I ever played on the Sega Genesis, Sonic the Hedgehog, 1991. So many memories. I was 6 years old, and it was that perfect time where I had a full comprehension of how gaming worked, and really dove into them. So one of the things we'll do here, we'll play it standard, and then we'll do the cheat code, see if it works on this emulation, which I'm assuming it will. So the thing about this one is it did not have the downspin like you saw in other ones. So let's go fast and see how the game emulates with the tears. See if we can get some momentum going. Good lord. Gotta go fast. So there we go. I'm wondering about the frame rate, see if it drops at all. So this is where you gotta worry, because this game's all about momentum and speed. And I mean, it's good. It's not as bad as some of the other ones out there, that's for sure. So, not bad. Not bad. It runs pretty well. It feels very natural. Playing on a Genesis controller, that is. So the bonus levels, oh my, how these were something. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. It's been a while. There we go. Okay, that was focus. That was focus just for you. So we got a Chaos Emerald. You collect all those supersonic it is. And then you truly 100% the game. So let's try something here. And what that is, we're going to return to the menu. We'll see if we can do this first try. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll see. Aha! So this is it right here. Up, down, left, right, hold A, then press start. You can do the level select. So this is what I did as a kid. I went right to the final zone. And fought Robotnik. So this is the end of the game. And as mentioned as a kid in the beginning, I wanted more than one game, because nobody just wants one game for their console, especially back then when some of them were so incredibly short. The side effect of going to level select here, you don't have any coins, which I don't think you have any coins going into this boss battle anyways, to be honest with you. The final battle. So let's see if I can beat this. Focused here, I don't want to mess up. Okay. Where are you gonna be? One more hit should do it. Let's see though. Nope. It's gotta be the next hit. So there we go. Wow. Still not. Okay. How many hits does he take? Anyone remember? Is it like something like 7? There we go. So now he runs off. I chase him. And then I can hit him there, which again gets some extra damage. And that's what I did as a kid. I went and ran upstairs and had them take a look and say, "Hey, look!" I beat the game. So yeah, that's how quickly you can beat Sonic the Hedgehog. So one of the coolest ends here goes through all the credits, and then it goes through all the worlds and all the cool music of the game. Obviously, if you're talking about the Genesis, this is the most iconic character for Sega and this console. And this is, again, Sonic. Alright, heading back to the menu, continuing on our journey. Toe Jam and Earl, 1991. Another good soundtrack. There's a lot of games they didn't put on here, understandably so. You can only put so much on this thing. Ren and Stimpy, I played a lot of that. Growl was one. Any games, chat that, or comment below if you're watching, that you didn't get on here or didn't see on here. So, very strange game. You go and collect things for your ship. They did a sequel to this, or like a remaster almost, somewhat recently. Toe Jam is a wiener. Or I was on vacation. So, strange game. It's not the greatest of games. A lot of people like it because it was different, and obviously we're talking about nostalgia here. Very of the time, though, graphically. And I don't mean the pixelation, I mean the style. This was very early 90s. So, like, fashion and style and hipness, if you will. Very exiting from the 80s into the early 90s. So, of the culture at that time period, it was definitely influenced. But yeah, this is Toe Jam and Earl. They had a sequel on this console as well. I don't know. I don't think it's on here. We'll find out, though. Moving on. Of course, we have Wonder Boy in Monster World. Released in 1992. So here we go. Monster World was once a peaceful region. Then the peace was shattered by an invading army of monsters. A young man named Cheyenne vowed to defeat them and make his land peaceful again. Alright, so we need to get out of this house. Oh, he's very floaty. I don't like that already. I have never played this game. This looks very much like a RPG side-scroller, which is very cool. Let's go into this tree. Who is this person? Can I talk to you? Oh my goodness. There we go. How do we speed this text up? We're not here doing a playthrough, we're just playing the game. Hey! Okay. Oh. So our first monster, and it is indeed a leveling progression. We find gold. As you can see, there's a bar there, which allows, well, maybe is. Yeah, it looks like I am getting experience points of sorts. Oh, can I grind levels? Do you come back? Ooh, bouncy coin. Hey, you're back. Okay. Or it could be the damage that I'm doing. I don't know. Is it going up each time? Is it coming back? So I could just grind here, get a bunch of gold, and defeat the same enemy. So, I mean, not much to it really. Very basic. We'll move on to our next one. This could be one really interesting to sit and dive into, learn more about. It's not one I played a lot of, but it plays really well. Alright, Alicia Dragoon. Sorry, excuse me. Released in 1992. I don't believe this is one I played. An action shooter. Starring Alicia. I don't know if I played this one. So some of these are going to be very new. Oh wow. Looks like the same design as Altered Beast. Same art. Wonder if it's the same company. I haven't even looked. Let's hop right into gameplay. Hey, where are you going? Stage 1. Oh, so you're walking. Alright, so you have like a lightning bolt thing, that's interesting. So it's a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. You have a dragon friend to help you out. This is different. I'm getting hurt though. Stop hurting me. Yeah, I don't hate this. It's just very different. I definitely have never played this, to be honest with you. So this is very new. And with the hundreds of games that was released on the Sega Genesis, I mean, you could play them all, but I did not. Alright, upgrades. I just want to hold this down. Can I just hold it down and shoot? And I have to button mash. Alright, so it looks like we got through the first area. Not bad. This could be fun with 2 players if that's possible. Pretty neat game. Let's move on to our next one here. And I am hitting the reset button, by the way, on the console each time to go to the menus. I don't know if there's a shortcut. I haven't really looked at the manual. We can look at the manual. We usually never look at the manual of things. It's just kind of how it works. Let's find out. There's not much to the manual. It just kind of tells you what, hold start on the control pad during gameplay to access the system. Okay, so holding start. I don't have to keep hitting reset. That's a relief. Alright. So I think that's what happens when you read the instructions. Kid Chameleon, released in 1992. During gameplay, it even tells you at the game menu. Yikes. We are learning. Because we're not reading everything. We're just... Again, I literally got this an hour ago. Now I'm here live with you all. So. And this is launch day. Alright. Let's see what this game's all about. Okay, so can I jump on you to hurt you? Oh, very floaty. Very floaty. So, Mario wannabe. Very floaty control. Kind of feels like, did anyone play, comment below, Krusty Super Funhouse? Like, it feels exactly like that, even how the character kind of floats around on the screen. That was like a Lemmings kind of wannabe. Fun game, Krusty Super Funhouse. I played a lot of that. You'll float too. Thanks, Nick. That's just how it feels, you know? I wonder if I can hit the tough note. Still not. But yeah, it feels like Krusty Super Funhouse. Interesting for sure. I don't know if necessarily, oh, hey. He bounced on those. Look at the water background. That's a nice touch. The shimmering. I don't know if that'd be described as shimmering properly, but you know what I mean. Not bad. So let's try this hold down start thing. You have to hold it down for several seconds. Wow. I don't know how I feel about that. So that was Kid Chameleon. Super Fantasy Zone 92. This is definitely one you've probably heard about but may have never played. A lot of people talk about it. A lot of collectors have this in their collection. Sunsoft, if you're unfamiliar, makes a lot of cute games. And this is known as a cute-em-up. So much like a shmup, this is a cute-em-up, or it's a shoot-em-up, but it's cute. So So we were doing terribly to start, but let's try this game. So very cool. So you can go left or right, which it's not a fixed progression to the right. You control whether you want to go to the left or the right. And what I'm speaking on is the screen itself, where a lot of shoot-'em-ups would have you going along the plane of the game. So pretty cool game there. Again, we're powering through a lot, so I want to make sure we get through that in enough time. Sonic 2. This is where a lot of people, shout out to iRob if you're watching this back. This was his favorite and first game that he played. He was a big fan of the Genesis as well. This is where a lot of people kind of had their entry point into the Genesis with Sonic 2. So most people probably had this game. Introduced what I talked about earlier, that feature, which became a prominent feature in the Sega games, or the Sonic games on the Genesis from there out. Then, of course, introduced Miles Prower, Tails, into the franchise, which was a great sidekick and companion for Sonic. Eventually, obviously, if you saw the anime, or cartoon, if you will, Saturday morning cartoon, Chili Dogs. Iconic characters. Bonus ring levels were indeed the shit. This one had the running one. Let's see if we can get to a checkpoint here to do one. Yikes. There we go. I don't want to get hit. I want to hit a checkpoint. Oh, there was a checkpoint up there and I missed it. Damn. And on this level. We'll see if we can get the bonus ring level in the second one. It's where you ran a half pipe and had to collect rings, basically. So most people are going to have memories with this one out of the series over other ones. Personally, I enjoyed Sonic and Knuckles. I really had a blast with those games. Unfortunately, they are not part of this collection. Licensing issue as far as like music soundtrack, which highly disappointing. Because really, you should have all the Sonic games if you're going to have a classic, right? But again, unfortunately, they did not put those on here. So, talk about the biggest disappointments would be that on this thing. They're 50 now. Where's the checkpoint? I want to be very careful here. So I want to get to the bonus ring level. I need a checkpoint thing. There we go. So this is for you, Neck. So very cool, very different as far as power, too, from the console. You saw the bonus level in the first one we played. Took a while, but I eventually enjoyed Sonic Adventure. Yeah, Sonic Adventure was a lot of fun. Cool. Get 80. Ah, yikes. Don't tell me what to do. Oh, we just missed that whole batch of them. That's not good. You'd lose friends with two people in this one? Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, yelling at each other, telling each other to go to a certain side to get the rings. Definitely frustrating. 4 rings to go. Will he do it? Will he do it? Will he not make a mistake? You jump to switch. That's right. I forgot about that. So there you go. We got a Chaos Emerald now in this one, as well as the first Sonic. Let's try to get in front. Yeah! I do remember that. That is funny. So this is Sonic 2. We'll go on to our next game. Echo the Dolphin. We've talked about this on the channel before. But now here it is, right? We finally get to play it. We talked about, Caleb and I talked about this in a podcast of his. This is one of his fond memories. Check that out. That's on Spotify, as well as Apple Podcasts and any other major podcast platforms. I believe it's episode 3 of the Dose of Nerd audio. So yeah, Echo the Dolphin. Forgot it existed, yeah. So I was always confused as a kid on what the heck was the point of this game other than just like swimming around as a dolphin, which controls surprisingly well still. There's Sonar can talk. How high in the sky can you fly? So, very interesting experimental game. But honestly, like, visually it still holds up really well. It controls well. I still don't know what the hell to do, but this is Echo the Dolphin. This is a very good looking game. So, can I go through here? Let's dash. I don't know. Nope. Yeah. So, I'm not really certain what to do, but we're not doing playthrough, more so just showing off the system. But this was Echo the Dolphin. Very cool. I have a feeling I'm going to be showing my son that one, see if he can mess around with it and have fun with it. There's not a lot of enemies on screen at that time, so. Road Rash 2. Shout out to Mikey if you watch this later or are watching. I know you're excited about this one. 1992 for Road Rash 2. Electronic Arts. Let's see how well this held up graphically. The last time I played a Road Rash game, I was just kind of like, this is what I liked. So. Alright, controls. There we go. So, B is to go, C is to punch. And yes, punch. You can punch the other people you're going against. Just knocked him off his bike. He got rear views. The side mirrors there. Oh, I forgot the handling. Yeah, still tough. Plays really well. I cannot remember the life of me the name of the game, but I have to say that it was a Metroid-style shooter. You run around and destroy bugs and eggs. Ranger X, I think, is what you're thinking of. Do a Google search on that. I could be wrong, but I think it's Ranger X. I don't think that's on here either. I don't know if it is or isn't, but Rude Boy. The character's name is Rude Boy. Call me Rude Boy. Anybody want to sing? No. Oh my god, both cars. There was no way. Look at this dude. Pretty cool though. I mean, this isn't bad. It reminds me a lot of the Formula 1 game that I played on the Atari, which was the first video game that I recall ever playing. I was like 3 or 4 years old. It's the first one I ever remember playing. From there I went on to play Super Mario and other games, but the one I remember the most that like I could figure out was a Formula 1 game in the Atari. But yeah, this is Road Rash. Pretty fun. I could see myself. Stop watching to Google it. You were correct. Awesome, Neck. Yeah, I had that cart, Neck. I do remember. That's why I figured out what you were talking about fairly quickly. Okay, you want to talk about beat 'em ups on the Sega Genesis? This is one of the greatest of all time, right here. I put in a lot of hours. I actually did a Classics Lounge episode with iRob on this. If you want to hop on over to YouTube, unless you're there already, check out our playlist for Classics Lounge. We played through this entire game, and it was such a fun time. Hated and loved that game. Yeah, mixed feelings. If you're speaking of Ranger X, that is. So yeah, as much as I'd love to, and you gotta go skate. Skate was my man. I was an inline skater back in the day too. Hours of my life wasted on Rampage. Yeah. Oh, this is so good. The soundtrack to this, I had this on the Genesis and my Game Gear. So much fun. This is one you definitely are going to be happy that this Genesis Mini comes with 2 controllers, because you're going to want to sit and play through this game countless times. I promise you that. Order a pizza, get a case of beer, and man, this is a great night with your buddies. And this is definitely more so for the age group that lived through this system. I don't think this is going to appeal to a lot of kids now. But then I could be wrong. I don't know how many kids these days are like appealing to nostalgia stuff, as it's not really nostalgic for them. If they release like a 64 mini or a GameCube mini for those kids, they'll probably get a kick out of it. But this is a specific era that was born sometime in the 80s to even early 90s that is going to get a kick out of this console, or this mini. What's up, Batman? Better grab that knife and cut that neck. Oh. So I could spend a lot of hours on this game here. I'll probably play through the first level for you. Sound sounds great. How's the audio mix coming through for you guys? Can you hear the sound really well? The one game that too I wish was on here, and we talked about licensed games being on here, no Ninja Turtles. I'm super bummed about no Turtles in Time. Because that would have been a fantastic add to this. Played through that a lot as well. It's pizza time. As you're noticing too, the game only allows so many sprites on screen, and sprites are the characters. They do that because otherwise you'd have a lot of lag. You'd have a lot of, I guess not lag, but frame rate issues. There has been no frame rate dips noticeable anyways so far in this game. This game runs super smooth and plays really well, very responsive, very solid experience on this. And this dude right here. Stab you. Watching without sound for a bit. Right on. I used to love these style of games. Yeah, Batman, these are fantastic. This guy right here, though, he's tough. They have a new Streets of Rage, I believe, coming out. I haven't looked much into it. I know there's a new Contra coming out, too. Hardcore. Or not hardcore. What's the new one? I can't remember what the new one is. It looks weird. The reviews have been weird. Scam at Pizza Hut. Yeah. Yeah, this right here makes me so happy that this game's on here. I know it's been on collections before, but there's just something about playing this game. Oh, through the table too. Jerk. Ooh, he's getting me. Too many enemies now. Pizza Hut sounds good too. I'm gonna have to have some pizza in my near future. Alright. What system am I playing on? I'm actually playing on the Sega Genesis Mini, so the brand new console, mini console that came out today. So this is part of the collection. So I'll show you. This came out today. It's a little plug-and-play mini console. This is one of 42 games on it, with 2 games never before released in the States. This is cool. Yeah, very cool. Just kind of doing a review and to show everyone how every game runs and what it looks like, and a trip down memory lane. Electra. Fighting a woman now. I don't feel right about this. You can't hear me? Oh, you don't have audio on. Do not hit me. Alright. We'll move on though. I could play this one. I could see myself easily getting hooked back into this and playing through it and be like, hey, just one more level, one more level. Let me show this to you. Let me show you that. But we gotta get through a bunch here. As you can see, we have so many more rows of games. World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse, Donald Duck, 1992. So yeah. And we'll do a recap at the end of this as well, talking about each game real quick. We'll continue our progression though. So again, thanks for those sticking with us and tuning in for this live stream, and then if you're watching this back on YouTube, thanks for the view. Hit that follow and subscribe button. If you're familiar with GR pretty well, you remember the Pizza Hut 44th. Yeah, I do. I grew up between 44th and 36th off Burlingame, so that was my stomping grounds. I've only been in the Ann Arbor area for 10 years almost now. I guess not only, but a third of my life now. I was there also playing the arcade games, seeing that it burned down. Oh geez, really? So that is what caused it to burn down? Streets of Rage? That's terrible. What's up, Rated? Classics right here indeed. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. There we go. Ooh, piece of candy. So yeah, this is World of Illusion, starring Mickey Mouse. Another one of our licensed games here on this. I'm fired, thanks. I thought there was just like a saying or something. I didn't know it actually burned it down. Jeez, man. That's craziness. Raiders gotta do it. Thanks, buddy. That's what I made it for, y'all to troll me, so use it wisely. Alright, so that's World of Illusion. Another licensed game. Very exciting addition here for the kids. Plus, it's a good game. Yeah, Batman, that's rated for you. He's a degenerate. Parents joking me about that for years. Yeah, you burned it down. Shining Force, 93, our next one here on the Genesis. You do love to troll me. I appreciate the love and support. I wouldn't be so proud to do all this stuff that we do if it wasn't for you guys. So, y'all make stuff so much more worthwhile. Disney game is dope as well. Music is great. So yeah, the soundtracks to these games too. A lot of these I have as ringtones on my phone. Yeah. There's an RPG. Will be. How many games on this? 42. Let's do D M A. Nice to meet you, DNA. Yeah, thanks. Oh my! I don't want to talk. I just want to show the game. Is where this faction Genesis got their name? I don't think so. I think it's more so probably the Bible. Golden Axe is the Dungeon of Life. Yeah, Golden Axe, great game. So this is an RPG, which is a nice addition. Kind of looks like Dragon Warrior. A little bit more visually enhanced. Not even the Bible. Oh. So we're not going to dive too much into this. As you can see, it's an RPG. I don't know enough about it to share any facts or feats. But it's a nice addition to have an actual classic RPG on there. Gunstar Heroes, though, 93. This is a run and gunner. 1970 rock band from England. Ah, that band, Genesis. It makes sense. I just thought Cross because the name, you know, Cross. That's why he had it. Phil Collins, he knows. Batman knows. Gunstar Heroes. Here we go. They made a boy band. Second level. This is actually a really good game. I played this on the Classics bundle on the Switch. So I bought that recently as well. And this is actually a really solid game. So one of the differences between the Classics on that, which is available on Xbox One and this is the rewind feature is not available on this. The rewind features on the console, Switch, PS4, Xbox One. That has, I think, roughly 50 games. But this is a great run and gun shooter. A lot more fun with two-player, that's for sure. That dude is really... Alright, come on. He's making me mad. I need that. How do I get that? Why can I not get you? Why did I have to push 2 buttons? What the devil? Fighting some weird plants. Defeated! So, great game. Better as a 2-player game. Still a fun experience as a 1-player. Moving on. Shinobi 3. This is a great addition too. 93. So if anyone's played the Shinobi games, they're in other games that are not easy. There's a lot of difficult games on this thing. So you got your superpower, your star, like the dress shirt and tie, very classy. You're playing some, you gotta, right? It's the classic, classy. Thanks. I actually had interviews today, so that's why I'm still dressed up. I got this, unboxed it immediately. I was just so excited. I didn't want to wait. I was going to do this potentially tomorrow, but I was like, you know what? It's launch day today. I'm doing this today. We're going to celebrate today, the 19th of September 2019. 20 years and 10 days after Sega Dreamcast released in the US. It is the 30th anniversary of the Genesis. We're celebrating classics. So that's why. You can't be classy, celebrate classics without being, dressed up classy. Unintentional, but that's the story now I'm sticking with. So yeah, this is classic side-scroller fighting game. Not too difficult so far. I'm sure it ramps up in difficulty. Great stream on Dead by Daylight. Thanks. It was interesting. Last night, Dead by Daylight was a lot of fun. I did okay. Guys right here, okay. We got a boss fight now. Oh, I can't shoot projectiles at the boss fight? I gotta actually fight him? Seemed a little easy. Okay. Shinobi 3, Sega Genesis. Especially the spider. Yeah! Yeah, check out our Dead by Daylight stream if you haven't yet. Andrea's freaking out with the spider. It was quick comical. 93. Champion edition of Street Fighter here. This is exciting. This is the one that I wish I had a 6-button controller for because I can only do punches unless I hold start. And then I can do kicks. But if you like fighting games, you are going to be happy for this. And this is the one I remember the most besides Mortal Kombat as a kid. Guile's a classic. Vega's great. Of course, you have Bison and Sagat. Some of these are unlockables, but because it's Champion Edition, you get to play as those characters. Let's do Ryu. Chun-Li. Of course, this is 2-player as well. I'll show you what I mean. I can only do punch, 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 and punch. Hold start, kick, 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 kick. So it's fine, but the 6-button controller would be much better experience for this to have variety in my fighting. Otherwise, I'm just throwing, you know, punches and kicks. And it looks like I just have to tap start and then it switches. I'm not doing well at all. I'm a spammer at Hadoukens. Should whoop my ass. 6-button controller is going to work much better in this game. So. That is Street Fighter. I want to play more, but I want to get a 6-button controller. If anyone want to donate a 6-button controller to the show, let us know, because that'd be amazing. I'd love to have one. Landstalker. Our next one here. Alright, Landstalker. I don't know much about this one, so we're gonna see what this is all about. Looks like another RPG, potentially. Here's the story. So I'm not even playing yet. This is just kind of setting things up. Do I have to watch all this? Oh my. Yeah, so it's an RPG platformer. You get the idea. I'm gonna move on just because of the sheer length of whatever was happening is happening there. Sonic Spinball. Lock. What have you done? This is by far the least favorite of my games on this thing. A lot of people like it, Lock especially. I did not care for this game. I don't know why. So it's exactly what's in the title. It's a terribly controlling Sonic by another team, and it's a pinball Sonic game. And pinball is good, but the game controls like not so good garbage. And it's not the emulation's fault, it's just the game itself. It's not good. That's my personal opinion. Sorry. Sorry, Locke. I'm moving on. Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. This is another puzzle game, which if you played the recent Sonic game on the Switch as well as the PS4, Xbox One, this was actually a cool, fun, secret boss. Not really secret, but a surprise boss in the game was fighting Robotnik as the Mean Bean Machine level. So, puzzle game has a story mode here. And really cool stuff. It's, if you've played a puzzler, you've played them. Kind of plays similar to Puyo Puyo. If you've played that. And you just have to get 4 of these things together, and then they do that. And your object is to beat the other person's score. I could dive more and play more, but that's really the gist of the game. Nothing crazy. Eternal Champions. So we'll load this one up. Don't wanna... Whatever, we'll just fight. So, fighting game. I'm gonna have to admit, this is another one that's a weak entry. I know a lot of people like Eternal Champions. While it's fine graphically, this is not mine. Did X-Men? It did not. So that would have been a much better choice than this. As you can see, it's fine. The sprites are cool looking, but not a great fighting game. So this is another weak entry for the console. So far, only a couple weak entries. Starfire. Yeah. Let's see. Bloodlines, Castlevania game. Great addition here. If you're a fan of the Castlevania series, this is a pretty good one in the franchise. Not the best one, but it is a pretty good one. There's no Symphony of the Night, but, you know. Time Splitters, yeah. Didn't like Sega the way he started the logo. So here you go. This is your classic Castlevania experience. Looks pretty good on the Sega. Most familiar, Castlevania was more of a Nintendo title initially, and then ventured off into other platforms. So, yeah, classic experience, nothing too crazy, a nice addition if you like Castlevania. This is a great one that you can sink a bunch of hours into because it's not an easy game either. Yeah, that is Bloodlines on a basic level. Again, just powering through games. If I'm rushing, I apologize. There's just a lot to get through here. Not a lot of time. Contra Hardcore. 94. So Contra was another one that was pretty big in the arcade, made their way onto Nintendo, and then became just a huge franchise. And then kind of fizzled out into the 2000s. There were some releases, but not anything noteworthy. They do have a new Contra that's coming out. Reviews have been mixed so far, as far as early copies that have been sent to reviewers. So classic visual style, if you will. Of the Contra game here. I mean, it's no Super C, but it's a good entry and a good thing to have on here. So. Moving on. So Earthworm Jim, we played that on a stream before. So this was one it's a pretty fun game, actually. Not easy. We struggled with it on the stream. Go check out the weekly dosage. I want to say it's episode 63 in our archives. We played this with, I want to say Mike. It's either 63 or 64. I can't remember which one, but go check out our archives. And yeah, Raid, if you want to see more of this and us having a blast with this game, check out our archives, the weekly dosage, either 63 or 64. Thanks for the host, Batman. So, I'd play more, but we have a bit of archiving that on our channel. I'd love for you to check that out instead. So that is on here as well. Dynamite, Hetty, 94, Heedy, Hetty, I don't know how it's pronounced. Fidel, thanks for the follow, glad to have you. So, here we go. Show off a little bit of this one. Parallax scrolling, good visuals. This is quite interesting. I have never played this game. No clue what I'm doing. Looks like I'm damaging that guy. Yeah, I mean, visually impressive game. This is late in the life of the Genesis. Cool game, not really sure what I'm doing, but that's Dynamite Hetty. The superstar. Mega Man The Wily Wars. What this is, this was originally only available on Sega TV, if you remember that back in the day. It's something that you bought a cartridge, you attached your internet basically to it, and you could get games on a monthly subscription basis, and this never was released as a cart. Now it is on here, and it is a remaster, if you will, of Mega Man 1, 2, and 3 in 16-bit. So being that Mega Man 2 is my favorite, I will play that one. Here's the downfall, right? It's using the sound engine of the Genesis, which is not awful, it's unique. It just sounds different than the NES. Visually, the game looks great. And Mega Man is incredibly difficult. But visually, the game looks fantastic. And the thing about Mega Man, you do have some latency as far as frame rate issues. That's just how the game unfortunately functioned. But you actually have Mega Man games here on the Genesis, which weren't really a thing. So, again, available from the Sega TV originally. Now 1, 2, and 3, not remastered, but can't say it, visual in 16-bit. Phantasy Star 4. And I died. I did. Mega Man's not easy. Mega Man is great. Phantasy Star 4. Another RPG. I'm not going to dive into this one. This is an RPG. Beyond Oasis. Another RPG. Again, I'm not going to dive into that. Just because it is what it is. Another RPG, Light Crusader. So these three won't be shown here, unfortunately. They're just your standard RPGs. Comic Zone, incredibly difficult game here. This game is amazing as far as like visual ideas and concepts. Really tough though. I've never actually beaten this game. It'd be something I'd love to try for a stream sometime. So you actually go through the panes, through the cells of a comic here, and it's a beat 'em up. Very responsive controls. That's one thing I'm noticing about this. So yeah, Tetris made it on here too. Tetris was an unreleased game. That's a competition variant of it that was never been released on the console. So that is new here in the States. So this is Comic Zone. Again, nothing too incredible. Very fun game, very difficult game. I love the art style. Vector Man. So very late, we're seeing at the end of the Genesis into the Sega CD and Saturn time period here, which is about when this launched. So they're really pushing the limitations of the console. So 3D visuals, around the time of the failed 32X as well. This is another somewhat difficult game, pretty neat. The gameplay and the control of the character reminds me of Cool Spot, if you ever played that, which was another interesting game, but also difficult. So just going around collecting these things, and that's the gist of the game. So that's Vector Man. Virtua Fighter 2, 3D Fighter, basically from an arcade ported onto the Genesis. It's better in the Saturn, to be honest. It should not have been on the Genesis. It's not bad per se, but it's not amazing. Better on the Saturn, which is where I had the game. I did not have it on the Genesis. It was actually full 3D on the Saturn. Bro, I'm trying to bust you out of that ring here. Yeah, that's how you win. You just spam the whole game like that, and you can win. Yeah. Virtua Fighter. Fighting game, good variety. If you're into fighting games, I'm sure you can have some fun with it. Monster World 4, another RPG. Darius, Taito's 86-hit shooter. Daniel-san. So this is another one that's making it to the console for the first time. I believe this was an unfinished or canceled game that is now on here. So, I don't know the full story about it, but I know this is the first time that is on the Genesis. At least in the States. What's up, Bat? So yeah, this is Darius on the Genesis Mini. Just another side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, or shmup. Not terrible. So again, for the full story for that, do a little bit of research on it. But that is, again, released 2019, the 86-hit arcade shooter makes its official debut on the Genesis Mega Drive. This fifth port comes with brand new special mode where you face off against all 26 huge battleships. So yeah, first time ever. And then of course also the iconic game that captured the hearts of players worldwide, defined the following block puzzle genre. Mega hit arcades across Japan. The Fable Genesis port is finally available to play here. How many strings do I get for watching this? 10 every 10 minutes. So 2019 release. These two are new. The two bonus games, if you will, to the Genesis Mini. Thanks, Rady, for the host. So again, two bonus games. You get 40 plus two bonus Darius and Tetris here. That's part of it. And this is just your most iconic. It's Tetris, right? To make such a big deal out of Tetris coming to the system, I don't know why, but it's Tetris. So, nothing crazy. I'd love to elaborate more, but you all know Tetris. So, we'll recap here. This is release date. Alex the Kid, Altered Beast, Space Harrier, Ghouls and Ghosts, Golden Axe, Columns, Thunder Force 3, Castle of Illusion, Mickey Mouse, Strider, Sonic, Toe Jam and Earl, Wonder Boy and Monster World, Alicia Dragoon, Kid Chameleon, the Cute 'em Up Super Fantasy Zone, Sonic 2, Echo the Dolphin, Road Rash 2, Streets of Rage 2, World of Illusion, Shining Force, Gunstar Heroes, Shinobi 3, Street Fighter 2 Special Champion Edition, Landstalkers, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Eternal Champions, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Earthworm Jim, Dynamite Heat, Mega Man, The Wily Wars, Phantasy Star 4, Beyond Oasis, Light Crusader, Comic Zone, Vector Man, Virtua Fighter 2, Monster World 4, Darius, Tetris. There you have it. You can also do this too, if you want to sort them by the spines. But Sword of Vermilion is not on here. There's a lot of missing titles. Put in the comments if you're watching on demand or whatever, or throw us out there right now what they're missing. But ultimately, this has been our review. I'd give it a 7 or 8 out of 10 just because of the missing. Can you plug in cartridges? No. No cartridge option. There's no expansion option either. So this is what you get. $79.99 retail price in the States right now. 42 games, HDMI, 2 controllers, the Sega Genesis Mini, the classic if you will. One of the highest rated ones out there. And honestly, I had a lot of fun playing it. This has been a really cool experience. I can't wait to dive in more and play more of these games individually on individual streams. For those that tuned in or missed part of the show, go back and watch for some of the other titles. But thank you all so much. This is Dose of Nerd Acumen's review and take on the Genesis Mini. Available now online and in retail stores. And no, this is not a promotional thing. I did not get paid or any sponsorship. This is just a proud, nostalgic moment. So I do have to say that. This is not a paid endorsement video. But for those that tuned in, thank you so much. Check out our weekly content on our channel. And until next time, take care, everyone.